Alex and Felix. We're talking about week 17. This season is literally coming down. It's wrapping up. Um, we're gonna get into our picks. We're gonna talk about some of the things that's going around in the league. And so I'm gonna turn it over here to Alex to kick it off with that. So
Okay, let's talk about your podcast. Because we thought your podcast this week today. Never you feel the cold that got her. Never you feel for cold. It cold win. A big game for the for the put off picture. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna move on to the ego. The hurt will be out and a week. C- c- cut and protocol. How do you feel about that? Before I get into why.
I'm gonna tell you, look, this always seems like a theme. I told you last weekend when they allowed for Washington to come back into that game. I blame the coaching. And this is the first time I'm really gonna blame coaching for this because at the end of the day, you had your star quarterback injured, but you had a backup come in, but all your starters were in there, both defense and offense. Your defense did everything they could to give you opportunity offensively to win that game and go ahead and move forward. Now, last year, when the team collapsed in this time of year, and if we go back and look at the last 3 Decembers, right? This December, last December, and the year before, it seems like every time you guys get to this time of year, when it's time to wrap up the season and show strength, the team begins to go backwards. And this is not the time of year for that. The teams that go on to win championships are the teams that come in strong in December, going into January. It's a fact. Throughout NFL history, when you come in this month, you have to win. This is a must win month. September, October, questionable. Yeah, you can start off a rough start, but it's how you finish is what makes the difference. And now here we go. We're now week 17, and you got a bunch of people questionable. Your starting quarterback is not in there again, and you're playing against another division rival. It is time just because you clinch the playoffs. But it's like every time you guys get to that spot, and then you go, "Oh, okay, look, we're gonna just take our foot off the gas." For once, I really agree with you fans that it's how the organization is allowing this. And that starts with the leadership on the sidelines and upstairs. And so it's sad to see that you guys play hard all season. And as the third man, right? As a group of fans, you guys are cheering your team on all season just to watch them get to this point and go, oh, like not good, not good at all. So I'm
Okay.
very disappointed, even though I'm not an Eagles fan, I'm a footballs fan, and I believe every organization should be giving their best actually all season, regardless of what time of year it is. But if when it comes down to strategy and getting things done, come on. Like
Okay.
this is not the time to be having people not showing up to play.
Okay. Let's talk about what happened to the ego. Uh, the ego today is big. The quick I don't feel no, uh, uh, I feel every year after every year it comes down to week 18 or week 17.
But it doesn't have to. Why is it wait, just hear me out. Why is it that other organizations that dominate in their division, they don't have this problem? There's never a debate for them to go, "Oh, I have to wait to the last week of the season to clinch my division to make it into the playoffs." Why is it just this division, the NFC East, with the Cowboys, the New York Giants, and the Eagles, that want to play this game, that they cannot just come out strong, dominate, win their division convincingly. No debate, no argument, no last week, no nothing.
I
Right? Why is a team like the Chiefs can just come cream all their teams, clinch, and still these guys are Super Bowl champs. They never took their foot off the gas.
got
This is far their best record, right? They're gonna go with just the one loss this season. They have not taken their foot off the gas. Just a couple of weeks ago, they were saying about Patrick Mahomes being questionable. He may be out for possibly the rest of the season because he suffered an injury. He has not missed a game. He's played.
I got
So, what does that say to NFL fans? What does that say to your fans? You guys support this team and this organization consistency. It's the same story we see in New York. It's the same story we see down in Dallas.
I got to it well that do is actually the cup but it goes mute what it all about money. It all about winning. It all about money. I believe it all about money and winning at the TV broadcast and you know you know the the free team or the more recent in the can't like studios.
I mean, but so is the Patriots. Patriots is number two behind the Cowboys as being
Yeah,
the most successful franchise in the NFL as far as gross profit and money, right? But they didn't play those games when they were dominating when Belichick and Tom Brady was there. They won their division. You had when Peyton was with the Colts. The Colts is not one of those super teams that do all of that, but they won their division. There was never no question was there going to be a team challenging him for that top spot. Then when he left and went to the Broncos, okay, same thing. He dominated his division. Now you see it with Patrick Mahomes dominate his division. So your team has the talent, you have the capability, but it only seems questionable for this division. This division, hear me out, they get the most primetime games
yeah,
of any other teams in the division, in their divisions. Obviously, this is the original for the networks, right? For NBC, ABC, CBS. They all was based out of New York. And so this is where it all began. But at the end of the day, it's like, look, why is it that this football on this side of the country can't just be a dominating team just for once? Just go play the game, use the talent that you have, and win. Get to the Super Bowl, and whatever happens when you get to the Super Bowl or when you get to the playoffs, it happens. So you win or lose there. That's a whole different ball game. But I'm going to tell you, it's more money in the playoffs. It's more money even in the Super Bowl. So this whole notion that you're making a whole bunch of money building up drama for the last week of the season is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous notion. It is absolutely more money to get your rump into the playoffs, and it's even more money if you get to the Super Bowl. So if you're not trying to just if you're not playing just off the notion to win a championship with pure heart and talent on your team, and you're playing to make gross profit, if you're a billionaire that owns an organization and it's about making money, then your ultimate goal should be like, you need to get your rump into the playoffs. You definitely need to get your rump into the Super Bowl because you know what? I want that dollar. I want that money because that's where the real money is. So I don't understand why is it the NFC East, it is consistent and it doesn't which matters which of the four franchises in this division, but it's the same story every season. I can't remember the New York Giants ever or the Cowboys ever just foot on the gas, dominate, get in the playoffs, dominate, go to the Super Bowl, win or lose. Never seen it. It's always the same story. You'll have this bumbling, fumbling towards the end so that everybody else gets close enough, and then there's this drama where you're driving your fans absolutely crazy. And then everywhere else in the country, the other cities and organizations, they don't play those games. They're there to win, get yourself there, hopefully make an appearance in the Super Bowl because they know what they're dealing with. But it's only this division we see this consistently by those organizations, by the networks, by the NFL itself. And it's annoying because living on this side of the country, we see the same old story every single season. Every single season, it doesn't matter which one of the four teams it is. The Eagles was dominant, considered one of the best teams this year, and they were keeping pace with the Detroit Lions. And then last week was a complete disaster. It's only the third time in NFL history a team had five turnovers and came back and won. You guys intimidated Washington before they even got on the field. You guys already mentally won that game over them because they remember what you guys did to them in the first round. And they really mentally were not, you can see it all over their faces. And then as the game started getting bad and they started turning the football over, they really were defeated. And then what do you guys do? You guys go, okay, take Hurts out of the game, and we'll save him to keep him from being injured so that we can go into the playoffs. No, you can't do that. Name one time Tom Brady took 3 weeks off in the month of December. It never happened. One time that Peyton has ever done it, Drew Brees has ever done it, never happened. And now you look at Patrick Mahomes, the guy is injured, beat up, and whatever else, but he is playing. He wants to win a championship. And that's the difference. So you want to talk about your Eagles? We're talking about the whole entire division. It's the same story. And only one quarterback in the NFC East never took a day off or a moment off, and that was Elon, right? Eli, should I say, sorry. Eli is the only quarterback that ever played in the NFC East that never missed a game in an entire career of being in that division. Every other team that played in that division, that when he was the quarterback in that division, same story. He played through whatever he went through to make sure his team was competing in the month of December. It's sad, but it's the same story. Whether it was Tony Romo, you got Prescott. You now got Hurts 2 seasons in a row, back to back. Actually, I want to say three because I'm pretty sure he missed time
Yeah,
the December before.
that
And then Washington, which was not really competitive at all for however many years, you had the
until
same song
after
and dance there. So it's ridiculous.
I
Excuse
move
me.
on to the topic.
Okay.
Uh, Let's talk about the Broncos. And I believe the P is part that is how about you?
Well,
I
look, look now. This is goes right back to that, right? You're in that time of year. They needed one win, just one, and it started a week ago, and they didn't finish, right? So this, to me, this is the pressure. This is when you know a team. It's like making diamonds. You got it or you don't. And if you can't win under pressure situations, not good. So the Broncos get right there. They played against three straight good teams, and they're not finishing. They're choking. You play good all season. You, for the first time, have that ability, and you need one doggone game, just one, and you can't finish. It's questionable. It makes you wonder what is going on. Why is it that, maybe uh everybody need to go to bed early? There's a curfew. I know they're grown men, but you know what? They need to focus because it seems like they can't handle the pressure. And if you can't handle the pressure to win one game during the regular season, to get your team over the hump and solidify what you need so that you go to the next level, then there's no way you can handle the pressure of winning a Super Bowl because that is insanity amount of pressure.
Okay. Let's talk about um couple games that happened. Uh, let's talk about that flipping up game. Uh, it,
Bears and Seahawks. Yeah,
it,
yeah.
yeah,
6-3 or whatever it was.
yeah.
Yeah, 6-3 was the score.
No,
Look, that was look. I'm gonna tell you, I admire games just like this. I know this wasn't a pretty game, and it was only a 3-point victory for Seattle, but the Bears again showed up to play, right? In a sense, because if they didn't, it would have been a far worse game. It would have been a lopsided game. Seattle is literally fighting for
I
their
put
playoff life, right? They want to be able to get into the playoffs and possibly still win their division. So they had a mission and they accomplished it.
uh,
And then for our
that
folks, I'm pretty sure you guys were aware. NFL fans aren't crazy. I know you guys know we had 3 games yesterday. Um,
beef
Chargers, Patriots, Broncos, Bengals, and Cardinals, Rams.
that
So
um that flipping up game is poop defense. I love it. I love that that game is a poop defense at the Bears defense. That what a game. That 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 game will be a good game every year. I love defense game. I I love that high put game or pull out game. Um, yeah. Let's talk about on that day. Equipment. Um, Captain ha could so goodbye for the conference to them. Um, yeah. And then Baltimore over Baltimore over who yeah yeah blew out um for Baltimore blew out Houston. Um, okay, let's talk about today game.
well, you just skipped over yesterday game.
Oh
So
yeah,
before we do that, let me just talk about yesterday games and give you guys some quick updates. So the Chargers went on to win over the Patriots, and rightfully so. They're
yeah,
trying to fight for
out.
their way to get into the playoffs, and I think they've handled that so far. They've won their game against the division rival, the Broncos, and then now they went on to win against the conference rival, which is the Patriots. Um, Winning 40-7. So that was an actual blowout. Then you had a really entertaining game, which the Broncos, they keep showing up to play, but just not finishing against the Bengals. And the Bengals have had some struggles this season. They're almost like the version of the Bears. They were in games, every game that they played, they were in and they kept falling short and not finishing. And so they end up finishing with a late score at the end of the game, 30-24. And then the final game was the Rams and Cardinals, which was a division rival, which I believe this seals the division for the Rams. I believe the Rams clinched the division by beating another division rival, and that was 13-9. And then, of course, we have today's games and today's picks. And so I'm
Oh,
going to
boy.
do something I haven't done in some time, and I'm going to pick the New York Giants to win over the
Oh,
Colts.
oh, oh,
Um,
oh,
I don't
okay.
like the idea that the Colts are playing this whole thing with the quarterbacks and stuff. It's the wrong time. Like if this should have been announced, sometime earlier in the week, but then here we are. They're putting Joe Flacco in there. I think the Giants will come out to compete, and we'll see.
Okay. Okay. Partly, partly opinion. Uh, that her opinion, I believe, is with time of a comparison. So, for me, I gotta pick the New York. So, I mean, I believe New York. be able to play the last two games of the season.
So, look, I don't think so. I don't think they'll win the last two games of the season. I think this is a chance. They have a chance to win and be, I guess, a spoiler to really upset the Colts
Uh,
chance. Because look, here's the thing, right? Even though yes, they're sitting technically in first place for the first round pick, they win their last two games. That is not the case. They may end up being fifth or sixth,
yeah,
and then your chances or fixing the problem that you currently have, you really want to piss your fans off, mess that up as well. And I guarantee you the owner is going to lose a ton of money because uh, their fans have about had it, just like the country. We've about had it with a lot of the crap that's been going on. And if he don't turn that ship around quickly for those fans, I promise you, he's going to be regretting it. Um, those season ticket holders will probably um, move on, because it ain't worth it. It's just not worth it for the amount of money that those people spend for those season tickets. So, but I'm gonna go out on a limb, say Giants over the Colts today. Then you have Raiders and Saints. I'm going to pick the silver and black, even though I know it's a far fetch because the Saints got creamed not too long ago, a couple of days ago.
uh,
Um,
for me, I'm gonna pick a good thing. If it really win that big for it can for it can job it I guess
Yeah, but hold on. I know people think the Raiders really don't need a quarterback. They have one. Remember, I just told you they have some other important pieces that they do need, right? So they don't really have a quarterback problem. Would it be nice for them to take one of those two
yeah,
quarterbacks? Yes. But we know in the past, if and I know you don't know the Raiders organization like I do because you ain't lived long enough to know the NFL the same way, but how many ridiculous, like insane quarterbacks that the Raiders ever had in their franchise season? Not a lot. Not a lot. So which means they have never, in order for them to win championships, they never really needed a super franchise quarterback. Um, they've
you
always won with defense and
it
other means to get things done. And they've
was
had good quarterbacks. So they don't, in this case, wherever they fall in the draft, they're going to be just fine. But we know for a fact the New York Giants
yeah
need an actual quarterback.
yeah
And they
what
need a quarterback more than any other team
yeah
right now in the NFL. Even though other teams are in struggling situations, the Giants need an actual quarterback.
yeah
So
uh,
if they mess this up, ownership can pretty much kiss his fans goodbye.
okay
So that it's important to them that they at least wrap that up and solidify that, hey, first round pick. And I'm not saying that they should go out and lose. They still need to compete week in and week out. But that will be shame on you too as a organization, the Eagles, because you guys are going to play them next week. That you guys go ahead and lay down and again lose three straight games. That would be awful. Then you deserve not to even make the playoffs, as far as I'm concerned. Even though you guys made the playoffs, you don't even belong there. So if you guys go into New York next week and lose, you don't deserve a Super Bowl opportunity or a chance. You need to show up and play, finish like a 12 and 3 team. They need to show up today, even though you guys gutted your own team by saying, oh, we got 8 questionable people, and some people aren't, and 2 aren't gonna play, and also the crap. Uh the Cowboys ain't playing that game. They lost their quarterback weeks ago, and
yeah
they're showing up to play. So even though we know they're not a good team and they eliminated from the playoffs, they're showing up to play. So
uh,
if your organization chooses not to finish this season, your coach should be fired. Ownership should be questioned by the fans, and fans needs to be completely outraged from that performance that they're being given by the organization. So we're gonna move on from there. Titans, Jags. Who you got?
those those things are horrible looking for jobs uh it's true
That's not fair. That's not fair. But okay.
it's true uh,
Look, those teams are struggling teams. I'm gonna put it as that. I'm not gonna say horrible. They're struggling teams.
no the
and they had a real bad season.
the
Look,
bad.
the Titans gutted their team,
Yeah,
right? Before the season really
yeah,
got
yeah,
really
yeah,
off, they decided let's just get rid of all our talent
yeah.
and we're gonna manage. But
Even
look, even with them giving up all their talent, they were still competitive in their
though,
games. So
I don't think e- even though they got the whole team even get a national as a national bad. Um, we definitely had the feeling new new I think that we give it down the over the top.
I'm gonna go with Jacksonville as well. I think Jacksonville will go ahead and pull this victory off. It's a division game anyway, so I think Jacksonville may pull this off. Bills and Jets.
I think it's gonna be a bill. I believe the bill will probably boot out again. It's gonna be a boot out.
I'm gonna go with the Bills as well. The Bills is another one of those teams. They are keeping their foot on the gas. Now, even though they know they didn't get the home field advantage in this situation with them, but they continuously go out and play. Even with the injuries and everything else that's going on, these guys show up. They don't. There's no excuse. They're there. They're there to try to win for their fans. Cowboys, Eagles. Obviously, that's you guys.
Unfortunately, it gonna be. And I hate. I gotta think it gonna be the Cowboys to get. I believe because I get. I feel like it will come down to re-entering football. So give me you because the Cowboys over the Eagles.
Uh, I hate to say it because you guys seem to always want to play the Vegas odds. Again, that whole entire division is all
Yeah,
about money for them instead of actually playing the game and the best team actually winning when they're supposed to win. Um, and I hate to say supposed to, but look, I mean, every team shows up to be competitive, but you're expected to win, should I say. Um, I'm going to say, look, you guys are going to probably forfeit this game and give this game to the Cowboys. If I was Roger Goodell, this would be very questionable. This is just, like I said, it's a consistent and it's only one division. You don't see this in any other division in the league. It's only this division and it's the same teams, same owners, same process every single time. Anyway, I don't want to go back down the same, what we
yeah.
started off with. Panthers, Bucks.
Oh boy, the Panthers get the foot win. Oh boy, yeah, the Panthers ain't not a bad team.
What? You just called Jacksonville and the Titans awful. The Panthers was
No,
bad from the start. They had problems from the start. And
okay,
look, but they've been competing. There's a
yeah,
difference. They are not a good franchise right now. They're just as trouble team as the Jags and the
no,
Titans,
no.
the New York Giants and Raiders
I,
and the Saints.
I don't think
They
so.
are in that category at the end of the day,
I don't.
regardless of what you say. But look, I will give them credit. With all that's wrong with that
Yeah,
organization, they are competing.
yeah,
And here's the thing: I was quite surprised when the Cowboys defeated the Bucks last week. So I'm going to tell you, I think the Panthers may get one off on them because these two teams seem to have developed a rival and they actually had this rival even when the Panthers was out west and they were in the 49ers division, right? Before the league made the change and reorganized everything. But since the Bucks, that rival, they're now in the same division and they play each other twice. So I expect this to be an exciting game between the two of these two teams. The Bucks need this win
yeah.
because you got the Falcons on their heels who has Sunday night football against the Commanders, but I believe Panthers getting upset today.
For me, I gotta pick. It gonna be a Panther. Compare again. Yeah, Yeah, for me, I do pick compared for you know a bad team. Again, the league, the league put the bad the couple he put the ear the ear the compare for my the ear, but for me, I the the I couple keep I got this the better again couple keep um yeah. Move on to another game.
Okay, you have Dolphins, Browns.
Oh boy, another oh boy, oh boy, another horrible team. Goodbye.
Oh God! Oh God!
Um, it's so horrible. Uh, this is my the new quarterback. The active new quarterback. Okay, they have some quarterback problem. And that is funny. I come up because that week. Um, ugh. Give me my army is the fighting for I put up by the give me my army. How about you?
I'm gonna take the Browns here. I'm gonna take the Browns. I think the Browns get this victory over the Dolphins.
And my
Uh,
army will be out of the put off.
okay. Yeah, pretty basically.
Yeah,
Um, you have Packers Vikings, which is probably going to be the game of the day, just simply because that's a division rival and is basically a mini playoff game in a sense. Even though yes, the Packers have been off the charts the last few games, you got the Vikings. They've been right there with the Detroit Lions. That division has not been clinched just yet, and so you know what? I'm going to go with the Vikings today over the Packers.
yeah, yeah. That the root it open the football back it open for for Gravity at this point. The attack and the yeah. I mean, a mini playoff game for me. I gonna pick. It gonna be Gravity over Group A. And the up and the it's that week.
Okay, and then we finished the day off with the Falcons versus the Commanders.
Oh boy,
Now,
the
the Falcons had started their rookie last week against the New York Giants. He came out, so out they blew the Giants up. He
yeah.
looked fantastic, and now he's going to square off against his own uh the quarterback for the Commanders, Daniel, who were both in the draft this past draft of 2024 class, and now we're going to see these two show off who is actually the better draft pick for
The
their organization.
it the a mini rookie ball to to a mini quarterback. Uh,
Look, if the Commanders win this, they're a lot closer to winning your division.
yeah.
Now, if they lose this game, and you guys lose, then it's going to come down to next week.
Um.
Um, the Falcons win this game, they have a chance. They hold their own destiny. So to them, they definitely need this win. With the Bucks losing last week, it just definitely put this game. It put their division right before their hands,
Oh boy.
their eyes. So this is
Um.
an important game.
Yeah. A really important game to be for quarterback. But I believe it's gonna be that's the top and I get I get coming I get coming out of before we get it go. I believe that the can't break the ego. That doesn't even become the bad thing get out of the ear next week. I believe it's gonna be good. Let's talk again. Over. What?
I would agree. I think the Falcons will go on to win this game. I expect for it to be a really good game between the two. I think there's been a new fire lit underneath the Falcons, like it was in the beginning of the season. They came out strong in the beginning of the season. Now that they have their rookie quarterback starting, due to
Cook.
uh, Kirk Cousins not playing as well, I believe there's been a new fire lit underneath them, and so we might see new life being brought uh, breath into the Falcons, and so um, I think they get this victory over the Commanders. And then the final game for tomorrow is the Lions versus the 49ers. Now, sadly, that
Yeah.
was a great playoff game, which the 49ers went on to go to
Yeah. But
the Super Bowl. And now we know that that game is not going to live up to that same hype that it did a year ago because the 49ers have just not been a good team this year. Another questionable situation internally within their own organization, and with their head coach Shanahan. But I'm going to take Detroit over them, just because they're just it's not the same. So
I
uh,
I believe that the not the at the football that will probably come the week um over the team, but I believe it gonna be Detroit over the football after the game. And not a good game. And not a good uh, uh, for the time the quarterback might my um might be on the bench. I believe all the put will be on the bench. All the good put will be on the bench. They nothing. They nothing to do.
well, at this point, yes, I agree. It doesn't make sense to have you know Brock to possibly risk him at this point. Um, Detroit Lions are definitely been showing up to play every week this season. Um, so this also, folks, let you know this is just like this Thursday was the last Thursday night football game.
But
This
you
will be
know,
the last Monday night football game, and because next week is just all the games are going to be played on Sunday. Um, and so,
all boy,
yeah,
all boy, we coming down here, but we 18, we 18. It's a week away. That um, oh no, there ain't gonna game
of 2024.
of Canadian football. I
Yeah, because
for
next week, next Sunday is 2025. It's in
I
January, so
I can promote that game of Canadian football, but there ain't that of Canadian football. That that week will be Canadian five. So
yes.
so I can't wait to enjoy the game today. Um, it could win. I got the pie, but I don't think so. It could be I got the pie, but I don't think so. Uh, yeah. What and what and I mean and NFL year of football with the dominant high and low game. Um, what a good year of football. We got one more week of football that until the put off begin and that go to the Super Bowl begin after week 18 of the NFL. Oh boy.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna wrap it up here, folks. Enjoy the games today. Um,
Uh,
Make sure you got your popcorn ready. And this has been a good talk
uh,
with Alex and Felix.
uh,
And thank you guys for viewing.
Happy New Year.
Yes, and Happy New Year.
This gonna be glad broadcasting for us to the year.
As long until next week, folks. Just see.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
here at Sports Talk with
Yeah.
Alex and Felix.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.